Hey guys, so I jokingly tell my coaching clients all the time 80% of your weight loss battle is fought in the grocery store. Quite honestly, it is. If the food doesn't make it into your cart, it doesn't go through the process of checkout, and it doesn't end up in your house, you've just overcome so many obstacles. Yet we keep doing that, right? We keep buying things and we go, God, why did I do that? Why did I buy that entire key lime pie? Why did I buy that entire Costco plus size box of cookies for my kids today when I knew I was going to eat them? Why do I do these things? And what I have assessed is that not only do we have lower brain chatter around eating, just eating in general, hence my Thinking Leads to Eating series, but we have a lot of lower brain chatter when it comes to grocery shopping. So let's just say you walk in the grocery store and you got this list, you got your meals planned, everything is kosher, you're feeling good about it, and all of a sudden you see something that you like and it's clearanced out. It's buy one, get one free. There's a specialty version of it that will only be there for the next month, right? Immediately, you'll probably hear a little conversation in your head, lower brain, by the way, saying, hey, let's get this today. You'll be responsible with it. We'll parse it out. Everything will be good. And we'll just enjoy this because it is on sale today, right? Or it's only available for this month. So it's hitting us with a scarcity mindset. Scarcity around the fact it won't be available, scarcity around the fact that it's at a much cheaper price point. So it's trying to convince us to do it now. But then you buy it and it's on your mind, right? You're thinking about it because you had never planned to have it that day to begin with. It wasn't on your food plan. It wasn't on your grocery shopping list. So now it's this new exciting thing that's living in your house. And of course, it's got your ultimate attention, right? So then you may have the thought, hey, again, lower brain thought. So one lower brain thought in the grocery store has now led to a lower brain thought at home, which is, hey, you know what we could do? We could have that in place of our other treat today, and we could swap that out, and it's about the same calories, right? So now all of a sudden the lower brain calorie negotiator has stepped in, where it's going to talk to you about how we can make this work. We can get that impulsive purchase into our mouth impulsively, and ultimately everything will be okay, right? Until you eat it and realize, ooh, this is highly palatable. I haven't had this before. I'm having all this wonderful hedonic pleasure from this new food. And, I want more. And before you know it, it becomes an overeating moment, right? Calories are high. Maybe you've even stopped tracking at some point. And these processes play out over and over and over again. So tip number one, and one of the things I want you to think about, if it's not on your food plan for the day, so you did your paper pencil journal in the morning, or you pre-figured out your calories in the morning in MyFitnessPal or Lose It or whatever, and it didn't exist on your grocery list, I want you to immediately identify in the grocery store, this is an impulse purchase. Like this thought is trying to encourage me to do an impulse purchase. And because I know impulse purchases typically lead to impulse eating, I'm going to choose today to say no thank you to this. I'm going to push past that discomfort of scarcity. I'm going to push past that discomfort of worry. And I'm going to give myself 24 hours. And 24 hours later, I'll create a new paper pencil journal. I can then go back to the grocery store and buy this food. But if I do it today, it's kind of usually for most people the beginning of the end, right? So one of the tricks I had for myself was, because I saw this pattern, it just kept happening over and over and over again. And there was always a seemingly justifiable, rational reason to make that purchase, was to say, is it on your grocery list? Well, that's black and white, right? Is it on the grocery list? No, it's not. Did you plan for that food today in your food log? No, I didn't, because I had no intentions of buying it, right? So those two checkpoints with myself led to me not putting it in the cart. Now, I want to be totally transparent with you and say, I face planted on this multiple times. Like I had to buy the multiple tubs of Cool Whip and, chocolate chips and ice creams and all that stuff to figure this process out for myself and say, this is just not working. This process of buying stuff impulsively, bringing it home with the seeming rational thought that I will divvy it out and it'll be okay, is not working. And what I also want to kind of help you see here is that this is totally normal. If you go back to the Thinking Leads to Eating series, your lower brain doesn't care about your weight goals. It does not care that you might have high cholesterol or be pre-diabetic. It wants you to feel good in the moment. That is it. And the reason that's super important to know is because every single opportunity your lower brain has to take you back to your eating behavior, it will, 100%. So the grocery store is like walking through a bar, right? Like you're constantly being exposed. If alcohol was your thing, going in a bar is typically not a good idea, right? But you can't help it, you gotta eat. So we know that we're going to the grocery store, so what can we do? Set boundaries. If it's not on the grocery list, it doesn't get in the cart. If it's not on my food plan for the day, it doesn't get in the cart. That one simple shift, and you will be shocked how often this happens. One of my clients ended up going to one of those big barrel stores where you can get stuff. Her friend just kind of impromptu asked her to go. And she immediately felt all this pressure, like, oh, I'll never get to the store again. This is a special thing. I should do this. And I said, is that really even true? Like, can you never go back to that store? And she's like, well, no, I can. But in the moment, that thinking seemed so logical to her, right? She had to take advantage of being in the specific store on the specific day. But I even said to her, I said, couldn't you order bulk nuts or candy off Amazon? Oh, yeah. And that was another thing that really helped me with my lower brain chatter, was going on Amazon and realizing almost anything that I want to eat or get that seems like a specialty food, I can find it on Amazon. So I removed scarcity and fear, right? So the more you're savvy to your lower brain chatter, you realize it's showing up in the store in the moment. You realize it's trying to encourage this cycle to play out where you end up overeating and get highly pleasurable, palatable food. You can actually choose to shut it all down in the grocery store. But remember, tomorrow, next 24 hours, new plan of eating, make a plan to go to the grocery store, get that food, but now you've got a plan for how you're gonna have it. You've got a portioned out amount, you've got it all worked out. This is no longer impulsive, which immediately de-escalates it, which actually makes it easier for you to navigate. All right, guys, I hope this tip was helpful, and I'll be back with a few more shopping tips to help you with impulsive purchases and impulse eating.